Drinking 2 or more diet sodas a day is now being tied to a higher risk of stroke. That's according to a new study released today. CNN chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta is here. We were just talking about my love of diet soda. I used to drink Diet Coke for years. And recently, well, 6 years ago, gave it up. And now I don't miss it at all, but I really loved it at the time. And now we're hearing it's connected to this.
Yeah, I mean,
soda?
This has been sort of brewing out there for some time. This idea that there might be an association between what they call artificially sweetened beverages, typically diet drinks, and the risk of stroke. And this was a large study. That's, I think, why it's getting so much attention. 81,000 women. It was all women. And they found that the people who drank the most of these artificially sweetened beverages, which was 2 or more a day, had a 31% increased likelihood of developing a certain type of stroke. So and again, it's an association. They don't know cause and effect. They don't know exactly why this would happen, but this is what they're finding. And they also found that within that 81,000, only 5%, interestingly, Susan, actually drank 2 or more diet sodas a day, which I thought was actually surprisingly low.
Very surprising.
And they found that the people who were most at risk, when you sort of looked at that entire population together, were basically what you see here: African American women who had no previous history of diabetes or heart disease, and a body mass index of 30 plus.
And I liked the taste of diet sodas when I drank them at the time. I preferred it to regular soda, so maybe it was the false sugar that I liked the taste of.
Maybe but you know what's interesting is that people hear a study like this and they immediately say, well, maybe these folks who developed a stroke already had some risk factors. So when they do large studies like this, they control for things, meaning that they divide the groups into 2 equal groups that have the same risk factors. And let me just show you some of the risk factors that they excluded, right? Age, ethnicity, body mass index, high blood pressure, diabetes. These things weren't the problem driving the stroke. So they excluded those factors, if that makes sense, and they really zeroed in on the fact that the artificially sweetened beverages seem to drive this increased risk of stroke.
I wonder what the food was, because people hear diet, it doesn't mean you're eating celery and drinking a Diet Coke. I didn't. It means it's added to other things.
Sure. Their whole life, their whole other eating habits, their exercise, all of that. Again, they try and control for those things, but that's a very important point. So
do people come up to you and say, well, I drink Diet Coke, it's better than regular? And I say, I mean every beverage. We have to, I guess, moderation. And I know what you're going to say, drink water, right?
Yeah, I'm always going to say drink water. I'm a doctor, right? But, you know, it's interesting. The American Heart Association last year released a statement saying, you know what, at least for short term, we think it's okay. We would actually recommend drinking artificially sweetened beverages over the sugar-sweetened beverages. And they were sort of acknowledging this idea that, look, we know it's hard. If you're drinking sugary drinks, we know it's hard to just go off of that completely to water, to something else. So maybe these diet drinks, these artificially sweetened drinks, could provide a good sort of short-term solution. Now with this new study coming out, we'll see if they change their recommendations on that. Well, you know, who knows? But yes, there are other things to drink, you know.
What about sparkling water?
Sparkling water, good.
Flat water better?
Sparkling water, right. No. If you like the bubbles. I personally like the flat water. But coffee, too.
Coffee.
I was never a big coffee drinker, but they say 5 cups a day.
Wow. No, I'm in the clear.
You're in the clear. No, don't add too much of the sweeteners to it.
I won't. Sanjay, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Still to come,